Hopefully this damn microphone works this time. What a bad start to this video. I'm keeping that in. Hello everybody, welcome to another Castlevania adventure. My name is Don, and this is Circle of the Moon for the Game Boy Advance. The first Castlevania game for the portable system, and I believe a launch title in North America too. This was one of the first games for the Game Boy Advance. Did I get this game on launch day? No. Actually, I got my GBA sometime around 2003 because Sonic Advance 2 and A Link to the... Yeah, it was A Link to the Past. Those were my first GBA games. Anyway, it is 1830 at an old Austrian castle. From the worshippers of chaos, rise a plea for the return of the Lord of Darkness. Imagine trying to read this on your standard GBA screen back in 2001. Or in my case, 2003 or 4. But yeah, this takes place in 1830, a good 30 or 40 years after Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. So things have changed a little bit. What hasn't changed is Dracula's antics. He wants to take over the world as usual. And also Carmilla, who is a new character. No, she's not quite new. She's been in Castlevania 2 as a boss. We just haven't seen her human form. I have waited for this moment to be awake again, to bask in darkness and feel the moonlight within. Count Dracula, I am honored to be in your presence. Puppet! Carmilla is a puppet, by the way. Stop! You cannot be allowed to taint this world. I remember you were one of the vampire killers that sealed me. You've aged. Let me put this on record. This cast of characters right here, these three, the main trio, the most boring Castlevania characters of all time. Who's this Nathan Graves? Oh god, we fell. You, Nathan! Master! Father! And we fall. I really don't care about these guys. Where's Simon at? Where's Richter? No, seriously, where is Richter? He's probably like 70 years old. He's too old. Anyway, after that long fall that probably should have broken our necks, we have to find our way back up. And Hugh here is going his separate way. I see that nobody has played Portrait of Ruin. Anyway, welcome to the gameplay of Circle of the Moon. I almost called this Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night this ain't. This is a rather different take on the Metroidvania format. We're back to using a whip, and it's not even the famous vampire killer whip. It's just standard whip that's called the Hunter Whip. That's it. Though it does have its utility. It's got a decent attack range, and if you hold the button down, you can twirl the whip around, so that's something. Anyway, here's the main attraction to this game, the DSS system. Or I guess it's just DSS because dual setup system is redundant. Anyway, here you have to collect cards, and the different cards will affect your different stats and your whip. You got two different types of cards though. You got action cards and you got attribute cards. You want to use both different types of cards in order to make a combination. Now it's not a bad system, I actually like the DSS. The problem is getting the damn cards. Specific enemies will hold specific cards, and the drop rates are based on luck. It's very highly likely that you won't get any cards at all if you're just simply running through the game, so might want to put some time into grinding. And that is the biggest problem with Circle of the Moon in my opinion. It feels grindy. If you want to fill out your DSS, you're going to have to specifically put on gear that enhances your luck, find the enemy that holds that specific card you're looking for, and repeat. It's like trying to grind for the Chrysengrim, but it's a full game. There are 16 of these cards, maybe 18. Now, you don't necessarily have to grind for all of the cards. I mean, I certainly did not, but you could at least grind for some of them because this game is freaking hard. This is the hardest Metroidvania in the series. By a country mile. People say that Order of Ecclesia is difficult. No, this game truly is ball-busting at some points. And it mainly comes down to two different types of enemies. You got bosses themselves, and you got flying enemies. The flying enemies are devilish. They are truly something to behold. Now if you pair that with a boss, like the boss itself is flying, then yeah, you're in trouble. Nathan here is acrobatic, but he's also stiff to control. He's pretty much a walking contradiction. The first few minutes of the game he is limited to a leisurely stroll. You'll need to find the dash boots in order to rectify that problem. And here's a save point. Now, the save points in this game in Circle of the Moon are way more sparse than they were in Symphony. Or it feels like they're more sparsely located in this game, I don't know. With like each area there's 1 or 2 save points as opposed to Symphony of the Night's 3 or 4. This makes the threat of dying an actual issue because the enemies hit hard, there are a lack of save points, and, well, the game just doesn't respect your time all that much. Yeah, I will say it right now, even though I like Castlevania Circle of the Moon, this is a good Castlevania game, it really does not show you mercy that much. Here are your dash boots, you can now run by double tapping the directional pads. This makes the game marginally easier now, not by much, but slightly. Even though the method of running is a bit outdated in my opinion. Though, to be fair, this did come out in 2001. I really don't like double tapping the directional pads anymore. I'm pushing 30. I'd rather just have a run button like in the Gunvolt games, or Mega Man Zero, or Mega Man X, or hell, even the next game, Harmony of Dissonance, has a run button. In both directions, mind you. Anyway, I can take on this Earth Demon now. You want to make sure the creature is at a standstill before you strike, and whenever he does that tremor attack, you just jump over it. You don't even have to do a running jump, you can just jump over it normally and you'll be fine. The good thing about Nathan's jump in this game, for as stiff and as high gravity as it is, you can at least control where you're going and where you're facing. You can even do baby hops in this game, and actually the baby hops are useful because you can dodge some real crap, some real serious crap. So yeah, again, Nathan is a walking contradiction because even though he's stiff to control with the walking and some of the jumping, other parts like the baby jumping and being able to go wherever you want while jumping is pretty fluid. It's no Castlevania 4 or Symphony of the Night or the later Metroidvanias, hell, it's not even Castlevania 3. This game does control weirdly, but you'll get used to it. What I will associate this game with are fake walls. I'm pretty sure this game alone has the most fake walls out of any other Castlevania game. That may be hyperbole, but I don't know, I'm pretty sure every area in the game has at least 1 or 2 or maybe 3 fake walls. Okay, we can't go here, I need the wall jump. The stiff-ass wall jump. We'll be getting that way later. Anyway, let's go up here. Ow. Yeah, the knockback in this game is kind of atrocious. I'm just grateful that there are no bottomless pits to fall into at all. Oh yeah, here's one of those dreaded fake walls. And here we can get a glass of water, which I think is an MP max-up. Yes, it is. Now let me tell you something, Circle of the Moon is probably one of my favorite soundtracks in the whole entire Castlevania series, and definitely one of my favorite soundtracks in the whole entire GBA library, for that matter. The Game Boy Advance does not have the greatest sound processor out there. I just got knocked out of the room. You son of a bitch! There are some exceptions to the rule. You got this game and Aria of Sorrow, that sounds great. Harmony of Dissonance kind of got plagued by the GBA sound, so that's unfortunate, but we'll get to that eventually. It's not even just Castlevania, you got other games on the GBA, like some of the Dragon Ball games sound great. Sonic Advance sounds great. What else? A Link to the Past, even though that's a GBA conversion of a Super Nintendo game, that sounds alright for a GBA game. Mega Man 0, 2, and 3 in particular. 1 and 4 sounds lame, but 2 and 3 are great for the system's hardware. But the point is, the Game Boy is capable of good sound if there are good composers behind the hardware. Or in Harmony's case, if you don't use too much processing power behind the graphics and not enough for the damn sound. But that's besides the point. That is really besides the point. We're not even at Harmony of Dissonance yet. Ugh. Just like within Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, you can crouch in order to avoid some knockback. It mitigates some damage too. Unfortunately, it does not work with every enemy though, just the small guys. Getting back to Nathan's whip, you can only attack horizontally in Circle of the Moon. However, if you have certain DSS cards equipped, you can change the nature of Nathan's attack. You can change it into a Thorn Whip, an Ice Whip, a Fire Whip. Hell, you could just turn into a martial artist and take the undead on with your bare hands like Bruce Lee. While all that's good, there are other DSS cards that will hinder your progress just a bit. There is one card combination that I believe will turn you into a one-hit kill wonder, or close to it, but in exchange you can kill the enemies in one hit too. So it's really just finding the perfect combination that works better for you. Circle of the Moon is really kind about experimentation. Again, if you can find the damn cards. There is a glitch in the game that you can get all of the cards at the beginning, but I do not use it. A, mainly because I don't know how to, and B, I don't want to cheat. Well, I won't cheat like that. If it's something like Chrysogrim, I will cheat for that because I've earned it and it's in the game. If it's the card exploit, that's definitely not developer intended, if you know what I mean. So this is a true blue Let's Play. You're not going to see me cheat, you're going to see me suffer. Suffer a lot. Don't worry, this may be the hardest Metroidvania in the series, but it's certainly not the hardest Castlevania game. I mean, you still got Castlevania the Adventure. And 3. Castlevania 3 is way harder. There has to be another Castlevania that's harder than this. Maybe the first game. Yeah, I think the first game is way harder. Actually, fun fact, in Europe, this game is just called Castlevania. Simply Castlevania. I don't know why they called it that in Europe. It's not like it's a retelling of the classic Simon Belmont adventure, or even like a remake. It's just a different game, but it's called Castlevania. I don't get it. In Japan, however, I think this was the last or one of the last games to hold the Dracula title, so over there it's called Akumajo Dracula Circle of the Moon. Also known in English as Demon Castle Dracula, you know the rest of the title. Anyway, I just leveled up there, and yeah, you're going to level up a lot during this game. And you're going to find a lot of max-ups. You'll need these MP and HP max-ups if you want to survive this game. Anyway, it's time for the first boss of the game, and tough first boss, one of the tougher first bosses in the whole entire series. It's Cerberus. Hellhound here has a couple of different attacks that will... Ow. Okay, I wasn't expecting him to jump on me like that. But the Cerberus has a couple of different attacks that will catch you off guard. That, and also, the boss tends to go invincible whenever he changes forms. So, you gotta watch out for that too. Hate it when bosses do that. They just get iframes out of nowhere. Just let me hit the demon dog in his face. Now, the Cerberus has a couple of different attacks, like I said. The laser is one of them, but you can actually avoid the laser no problem. You just gotta be underneath or over the Cerberus. Those are the only two attacks I can recall. The other attack is really just the Cerberus jumping around and trying to stomp on top of you, which is honestly the most dangerous part of the Cerberus. It's not the long-ranged attacks, it's the Cerberus trying to maul you that's the problem. As you can see, this bastard jumps around a lot. Now for the lightning attack, which is really just one of Shaft's attacks from Rondo of Blood. You just stay away from the orbs when the lightning is going off. What an asshole. Oh god, the laser. A lot of these attacks just come out quickly. This is the main reason why the Cerberus is one of the harder bosses in the whole entire franchise. Now that and the Game Boy Advance screen is not too kind. It kind of hides away the Cerberus. Even though the Cerberus is a big target and you're decently sized, the arena itself is huge. So the Cerberus could be lurking anywhere on the sides of the screen that aren't visible. You have to watch out. Dramatic Castlevania pose for the win. You go back to hell, you three-headed bitch. Anyway, that's the first boss down, and here's actually a big downgrade from Symphony of the Night. You don't get your health back after you defeat a boss. I mean, this game is already hard enough. Why make it harder? We just got the double jump. Another jump can be performed while in midair. Now this is going to help tremendously with the agility. Nathan's still not as nimble as Alucard or Juiced, but he's somewhat close. Anyway, that's going to do it for part 1 of Castlevania. I'll be doing Circle of the Moon for the month of October, so stay tuned.